Do you use the internet for your business? According to statistics, 97% of us do. We have Mina Vu with MV Law here tonight going over internet law. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned.
Our goal is simple: to help you achieve the dream and vision you first had when you thought about starting a business. We're here to make growing your business less complicated. There are building blocks to build a sustainable business. We promise to seek them out and address them all. The Better Your Business Show starts now.
Can't hear you.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's show. I'm Natalie, my awesome co-host tonight. We have Shanna Mavis and we have an awesome night planned for you. We have going over some awesome grants. Jana's going to be talking about free money. I'm going to be talking about building your credit score, paying your bills. We have Fitzroy House going over our technology tip, and one that I'm very excited about is we are going to be meeting with Mina Vu and talking about internet law, which I think is a huge one, especially it's 2023. Everyone is online.
Yeah, and I'm interested, as we were talking to her before everything started, hearing some of the things that maybe we're not paying attention to as far as the legalities of running a business. And we also have a master minute marketing or legal tip tonight that we're going to go over, and then she'll be able to shed some light on that and talk about the separation between the two, because there are a lot of intricacies to starting a business. And we don't really think about, typically we don't really think about any of the finer details until we get into it. We're usually focus in on what we do or how to make sales or how to market or how to do, any number of things, but we can't think of everything, or until someone reaches out and it's just like copyright infringement or whatever the case may be, you don't think about it. And then it's like, oh, it's a little too late. Right. So I'm curious to hear her thoughts on how do you avoid getting into like those pickles. But let's say you get into one, how do you get out? Right?
Exactly. Absolutely. And I remember we had someone a while back on the show, I don't know if you remember, that actually had posted a picture that she couldn't post and was being sued. I think it was, and she was going to be sued for that. I think she is going to be sued for a big amount. And it made me really nervous when I heard her story with all the posting. I mean, I post on social media every day. I'm on some sort of something between the podcast and everything we're doing. And so it really made me nervous on, I guess we're going to find out because I'm all over the place. So what's going to happen if I do get in trouble for something? Because I have no clue. And I'm glad you think it's funny, Shanna. I'm just going for it.
I know, because this is like the second time I've heard you say that. I'm going for it. I don't know if something's going to come back on me or not, but I'm going to do it anyway. Let them find me. Let them find me.
Yeah. Hey, I want to go to an island, so I'm okay with it.
Yes, thank you. Denise O'Malley is in the house. That's awesome. Yes, tonight we're talking about how starting a business works. Again, this is one of those questions that a lot of business owners ask. And with Mina in here from the legal perspective and getting more of that information, it's going to be great for us to really understand how starting a business works. We're all, hi. We're all, or a lot of us are out there doing it. So we might as well do it right. And we'll hear from Mina and we'll hear from the other legal expert, those foundational pieces. It's just not missing out on those. So I am super excited.
Yes, me too. I'm, in fact, this is going to be one of my most conversations I'm looking forward to from the whole.
Because of your business. And we are losing you. You're freezing again.
That's me.
Yep. Okay, now we got you.
Oh, I was saying I was saying so far I'm most excited about this conversation. So out of all of our shows from this season, I'm most excited about this one. So no pressure, Mina. But I mean, just
well,
like
do we
Denise,
want
I
to
think
bring,
yeah, let's go for it. Let's do it.
you want to bring her in so we can do the Dear BYBS and see what she has to say and offer? Okay. And Carlton, get better soon, because I'm going to jack up the whole thing tonight anyway. So you guys offer us grace, please, as we're
You're doing a
going
great
through
job,
and
Shanna.
figuring it all out.
You're doing a great, Shanna. So, oh, and she's here. I didn't even get to edify her yet. But so everybody, Mina Vu with MV Law. I have known Mina for about 3 years. So I'm just really grateful that we have her here tonight to talk about such an important topic. I'm really grateful for the relationship that I have with her. I'm not one that's quick to have relationships with attorneys. I guess I've kind of fallen to the stigma. So it's nice to have someone that you can have a personal relationship with and turn to and know, hey, I can trust their feedback. So thank you for being here. I'm really excited about this topic.
Hi, Natalie. Hi, Shanna. Thanks for having me here today. I'm pretty excited. And of course, it's a lot of pressure.
No more pressure than your previous career, I'm sure. So, I did want to get started with, something that we've had come up on the show a lot. People ask with getting their logos trademarked. One of the questions that we had was, do I need to get my logo trademark if I already have a corporation set up? And they were told they didn't. I didn't know, what the rhyme or reason was on that. And I was curious myself, do you have to get a trademark? And if you're incorporated, do you have to do it? Does it matter if you're not even that big of a business? I don't know, but.
So my take on this is, first of all, there's a difference between copyrights and trademarks. So, with copyrights, generally, if you create the work, you generally have, rights to it. But with trademark, you technically have to register with the U.S. trademark. So I believe if you do want to grow your business, you want to protect your branding, which is extremely important in the digital age nowadays, you do need to trademark.
Okay.
We have one answer down.
Well,
and
kind of goes into
like, okay, now how do I trademark?
Well, I mean, it kind of goes into the Dear BYBS question.
Yeah, you ready?
Right? Do you want me to answer? Sure, yeah. Hopefully, yeah. I tried to pull out my phone because I think that's why you guys were losing me. So, but this is a very interesting question. It would be my second question to you anyway. So this one says, Dear Better Your Business Show, I've been trying to make my mark in the fashion industry for a couple of years. I started a clothing brand that focuses on sustainable and ethically sourced materials, but I haven't gained the traction I hoped for. I've been regularly posting to Instagram, trying to grow my followers, but I can't figure out where I'm going wrong. I've gained a few, but not as many as I thought I would by now. How can I build a strong brand? I'm good at what I do. My collection is small, but people like it. And also, should I share my entire collection on social media? I'm not sure what to do or how much is too much. Hoping you can help. Felicia Fashionista. And I would be concerned with that too. If I start putting my designs online, are people able to just copy my stuff, take over my stuff, or what feedback would you give to her, Mina?
Yeah, so of course, if she creates her work and she posts it online, it's protected because it's copyright that we're talking about here. But I'm also hearing her concerns about, growing her business. And I think one of the things that you need to, if you really want to grow your business, branding is very important. And so it connects back to that trademark that we just spoke about as well, copyright is important, but also branding is important. So she wants to attract more people, know about her business. I think branding should be where she should start as well.
Definitely. And then Denise asked a question, how expensive is trademarking? Great question.
Ooh, thanks, Denise, for the question. So it depends. The attorney's answer, it depends, how many, trademark logos, your brand name, what are you looking to trademark, how many classes are you thinking of trademarking, and it depends whether you want just the regular or the standard trademark or the different types of trademarks. So I can't really give you how expensive a trademark. It can be pretty cheap, but it can be pretty expensive. But what I can answer to you, Denise, is that the trademark process can be complicated. So it's always best to work with someone in the legal professions to help you properly, file your application so you don't have to go back and forth, which adds up to the time and the cost.
At least that way you did it right.
Exactly.
That was a great question.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
an attorney's answer.
Yeah, thanks for that.
There's nothing on here is to be construed as legal advice.
Exactly.
Everyone understands the disclaimer. Not fine print. We are telling you outright. If you want to know, you need to reach out to Mina, have a consultation, and understand from your situation and your perspective. But yes, I love that. So I
It's
think,
true because everyone's
Natalie,
different.
Natalie and I were talking about this, and of course, the Dear BYBS, there's a lot of information we don't know. You're asking about building a strong brand, you're asking about growing your business, and what we don't know is what steps have you taken to this point. I hear you're saying that you're posting on Instagram, and that's great as long as that's where your buyers are, and likely, but if they're not, then that could be why you're not getting the traction that you're looking for. Do you know who you're selling to? We talk about that a lot because that seems to be a step that a lot of people don't take. Business owners are, you're hearing the information being put out there that you need funnels, you need to post every day, 14 times a day. You've got to be everywhere, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You've got to do all of those things. But you may not. You may be just spinning your wheels because that's not where your audience is. They are going to be at the farmers markets, so maybe it's better for you to set up a booth there, and it really depends. I'm just looking at it from that perspective of stepping outside of what you're seeing and really looking at who you're serving.
So true. That'd be my first thing of feedback that I'd give as well is who is your market to say, maybe you shouldn't be on Instagram. Maybe that's not your market. Although if hers is millennials, it probably is Instagram. Yeah. Maybe she just has to keep going for it, And I was even thinking about, because I like to watch those shows like Face Forward and Fashion Runway. I just watched the junior competition. They were all high schoolers. This one, she was like 14 years old that won this huge competition. And they're not thinking about trademarking. They're not thinking about things. They're just being creative and putting it on social media and being discovered and opportunities coming to them. They're just doing what they love. So I say if you let go a little bit, just have a good time and, shine bright. I think doors will open up from just that anyways. Just have a good time.
So. Definitely agree with Shanna and Natalie on that.
Oh yeah. And especially even with, so can I tell? So Mina actually is very, well, she was a performer for years and is well known. I mean, if you look at some of her YouTube videos, which I was looking at, they have millions and millions of views at them.
Really?
I love it.
I knew it was going to come out.
But I think it's one of the things of why I really like her though, because it says so much. You don't just, how you do one thing is how you do everything. I'm a firm believer in that. You have to have a strong sense of what you want, where you're going, a strong sense of discipline to be able to accomplish those things. And so I think it's really cool. But even with your background in entertainment, your feedback for her probably is awesome because you've been part of it. You spent time doing all that stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So like I shared earlier, it's a lot of branding. It takes time and, we have to work hard, but we have to wait for luck to come to. And that's what I believe in business as well. You work hard, 99% of time and wait for that 1% luck, that's when your business boom. Right. But of course, you just work hard, attack all the markets that you can, take a look into the market, go reassess, your business plan, see where it's wrong. And, from there, that's the starting point. I mean, as a business owner myself, that's what I do on a continuous basis as well. I would go back and evaluate my business. What can I improve on? Who's my target audience who would like to know more about what I do? And from there, hopefully that can help with your business grow as well.
What do you see as the number one? What do people come to you for? Number one is, what is the number one thing? Is it help with like website challenges? Is it social media?
Yeah, so I get various questions. Sometimes people have a trademark that they need to do. Sometimes they want just to make sure their website is in compliance with the law. That can be many areas of law, such as the ADA aspect, make sure they have a proper privacy policies on their website. And so, business owners, when they come to me, they come with issues, they come with problems, right? And as a and as a transactional lawyer, sometimes it's hard for me, to tell people to take the preventive side too, because people just don't really come to lawyers until they have problems. And I hope that, instead of waiting until you have the problem, you start taking prevention first. Make sure, take proactive step. Make sure your website is good and running to go. Make sure it's compliant. Make sure your business has all those documents, has all those proper, contracts in place. Yeah.
So how do you know what all you need without talking? I mean, and again, I hear you recommending, and
Yeah.
we recommended the same thing. Do not forget about the importance of having an attorney
Yeah.
when you're starting a business. But how do you know what you need to do? You're talking about the website. Most of us are just like, okay, let's pop up a website. I can do one for free, or or for really cheap, and you think about the design, you think about that aspect of it. But you're talking about the privacy policy, you're talking about ADA compliance, you're talking about all of these things factor in and they impact your business, but hardly anyone knows about it. Is there like a checklist that it's just like, hey, here's a legal checklist, make sure all of these things are that any business owner could just kind of pick up or find out about without speaking to an attorney?
Definitely, there are checklists out there, how to make sure your business, and when you're starting out a business. But with MV Law as well, we do provide like a comprehensive checklist for business owners, as a brochure that we even offer out in our website. If you visited mvlawapc.com, I do offer a comprehensive checklist, for business owners. So there's free content out there, everyone. So it's just you,
Okay. So I do want to point out, I had no clue about that.
Now you know.
A way to sneak in a shameless plug. I really wanted to know, because I know that that's what I'll go and look for first. If I am not sure about something, or when I was thinking about marketing or a marketing plan, I Google and I try to find out, okay, what do I need to know so that I'll know where do I need to get help? Because now that I know all of these things factor into this, then I know, okay, I have no clue what my privacy policy needs to have in there. I look at it and I try to minimize the amount of money that I'm going to spend, because attorneys are, typically by the hour, right? You can buy like the Legal Shield or things like that, but it's really looking at it saying, okay, if I'm going to spend the time with a professional, I want to know as much as, if I can do it myself, I'll go ahead and get it done. Or if I've got a resource for that. But if I don't, I know, okay, I need to work with her on the ADA compliance. How do I resolve that? I need to work with her on this. So it's really, I did not know that you had a checklist, but I'm excited to hear that you do. And Natalie has put the website up there. So go get your checklist and make sure that you're compliant.
Definitely, yes. And just want to add on that, Shanna, of course, we want to make sure that, everything is there and checklist is good to go. And that's why MV Law was built on the idea that attorneys are so expensive, work by the hourly, it adds up so quickly. And so that's why at MV Law, we do 100% flat fee. So you can predict those costs into your business costs before you have to even expense. We don't do things by surprise. There's no that bill at the end of the month. Let's say, hey, these are the grants that you have to pay me. That's not what we're about. And because for me, I when I practice law, I know about that too. It's like, attorneys are very, very expensive.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
And it's not that, we're trying to be, racked up the price or everything, but that's just how the system works. And to avoid that, that's why I implemented the flat fee system into my practice. Yeah.
So what does that mean? Because even as I hear you talk about being preventative, I think to myself, well, so what, I do a retainer, we have a conversation first. What does a flat fee mean? You pay something every month and you're on retainer. If I need you, you're kind of walking me through things I should be concerned about along the way. Because the other thing I would think too is working with an attorney, I would want you for life, right? Growing through the process with me, not somebody that I'm just switching around with every few years. So how does that work?
Yeah, so we do offer, different packages for different business. And so we do free consultation here at MV Law. You sit on a 30-minute with us, tell us about your business, what your concerns are. And we do offer flat fee, and we do also offer the general counsel plan, like Natalie said, that will be your counsel, hopefully for life, and bringing you to our family. And so we do have, different packages and different options for a different type of business. And, depending where your business at, are you a small business? Are you looking to grow? Are you looking to do interstate, or you just want to remain locally? So it really depends. And, within that 30 minutes, hopefully the free consultation, we can create some plan that would fit your pocket, would be perfect for your business need. Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm curious about is there's so many different types of businesses. Who will benefit from seeing an internet attorney, right? As opposed to, when I went and I got my LLC in Oregon, I found an attorney there, and it was just like, hey, it was $1,000 to get this done. He filed all of the paperwork, gave us, everything that I needed. Would I have needed to have seen you after that, right? Mm-hmm. What types of business owners or businesses are best served seeing an internet attorney that specializes in this area versus others? And I know you've mentioned e-commerce, but are there others that really need to consider it?
Yeah, any small business owners, even if you reach California residents, or you're from out of states and you have a your client base are in California, or you have some collecting information of a California resident. So, with the internet booming and we're living in the 21st century, there's really no such thing as being local anymore. If you do have a website, you're prone to have visitors and customers from, other states as well, especially if it's, fashion, if it's, you're selling some kind of products or goods, and sometimes even services, it can go, to out of states. And so for me, I enjoy talking to people. So I love talking to any small business owners, and just a side note here, a little secret, I love to stalk people's website. And so
that's funny.
Yeah,
I've heard that about attorneys. They're always
other attorneys might talk about your information and things like that before they talk to you. But for me, I stalk your website before I talk to you. And so just engage in the conversation. It doesn't hurt. And, just to see where you need to grow. And for me, I'm open to, all kind of business, because, certain areas of law that I do are actually federal law. So I can practice in any state, such as the ADA compliance, or, filing trademarks and things like that. And so that can be done if you're located anywhere in the US.
So that should be the answer to Denise's question. Does MV Law work in all states?
Yeah. So like for Denise's business, I don't know where she's incorporated, but she lives in Colorado. So let's just say her business is in Colorado, but I know a lot of the people on her platform are throughout the United States.
Yeah.
So would that be determined based on, so if something happened with someone on her platform, or would it be always the state that your business resides in?
Yeah, so it depends on the issue that Denise runs into. For example, if she needs an ADA compliance website, then of course that's something I can help her, right? Because like I said, that's federal law. But if it's something very contractual basis that she's working with someone that the controlling law is Colorado, of course, I can always refer someone in my network that I know in Colorado to assist her. Yeah. So it depends on the issue. It depends on the issues in the end of the day. But with internet law, there's a few area or issues that are covered under the federal law basis. So MV Law technically can help any business owners in all 50 states.
Okay, awesome. Okay. Yeah, and Shanna, I loved your question because I was thinking about that, this whole time with what I'm doing with financial planning, because I'm service-based in that. I thought, but with what I'm doing on Amazon, because I'm making stuff, selling stuff online, that is something I was concerned with. If what I was using to create the covers from the journalist compliance, because I am using different programs from online to be able to do that. And I know that there's attorneys that look for that, right? If whether the picture you're using is, I guess, trademarked or not, or whatever. So is that a common thing that you see, Mina, or should people be concerned about that?
Yeah. So the misconception is anything on the internet is free. That's a misconception, right? Nothing is free. There's no free lunch, unfortunately. And so it really depends on, the platform you're working with. And of course, a lot of platforms, it depends on their terms and condition and those fine lines. Some of them will say that, the work you generate on here are yours. It's copyrighted by you. Others might differ. So it really depends on the platform you use, what their terms and condition are with respect to the rights of those work. Yeah.
So fair use. What, because there's a lot. I was watching this podcast, Nikki and Moose, I think is what it is. And it's, about business, but they were talking about content creators and, that industry is just taking off. It's from COVID. It grew, right? And so when you think about content creating, even us putting together this show, I'm almost afraid to play my clips now because I'm like, Natalie, okay, well, I hope this is okay. But if it's not, please let us know. But yeah, so I want to talk about that because there are businesses or people, entrepreneurs that is their business, is creating content, and they are really developing, products and services around the content they're creating, but that's what they're known for. And borrowing, borrowing pictures from the internet can be very expensive. Just saying.
Well, Denise is who I was talking about, that she had posted something and an attorney found her, but they were looking, it was an attorney that was obviously digging up. Denise, drop in the chat if I'm totally wrong, but they were looking for people that used pictures that they weren't allowed to. And she got a big fat lawsuit from it. And it's like, how do we know?
Yeah. So tell us, and I know that, again, the disclaimer is out there. You are not giving us advice, but yes. It would be great to understand a little bit more about that for any business owner or entrepreneur that's thinking about, the content they're creating or putting out there.
Okay, so first of all, fair use is just a copyright doctrine that says, there are certain uses for copyright material that you can use, and it's not going to be copyright infringement if you use it for things like criticism, news reporting, research, or, making comments, parody on it, right? And so with respect to anything that you see on the internet and it's not yours, what I usually recommend and tell people is just find the source, ask for permission. And most of the time, most of the time, the owner of that copyrighted work, would be happy to give you that permission. Just track down who's the owner is and simply ask for, hey, I would like to use your pictures, your image, your video, whatever it is for this purpose and this purposes. And, if they're agreeable to that, then that's great. And if you do or will generate some kind of revenue on that, then you can enter into some kind of agreement for revenue or profit sharing. And that will prevent you down the line from receiving a lawsuit for copyright infringement. Yeah.
I like that.
And that person might be thrilled to have profit sharing. Hey, go make some money, share it with me. I won't be mad.
Oh yeah, she said that was Denise. That there are law firms that search for pictures and go after you. I received a $7,000 demand letter, and then honest mistake on a published but draft page that no one had visited, which is crazy that was going to cost $7,000. That's nuts. Okay.
Well, I watched The Good Fight, which I felt taught me a lot about the mindset of law. I don't think I'd looked at it from that perspective. I was like, boy, you could beat any law. I was thinking that you could beat any law if it's packaged right and you have the evidence behind it. And then billions, you're dealing with a lot of lawyers as well. So it's just making me really think about what a big, little things that you can get in trouble for. And we have no idea. And just like Denise, you get a $7,000 demand letter. But it's just really important because anything can be turned into a something in that regard, unfortunately. And that's a little bit scary.
Yeah. All right, let's take a quick break and then we'll come back with Mina Vu and more attorney talk.
A wise man once asked, "What if starting a business was like jumping out of a plane?" And like 76% of businesses, what if 76% of parachutes failed before you reached the destination? What about those of you who have already jumped? Well, you may still have time to check your business. Pillar5.com, where businesses get it right.
Thank you, Denise, for being with us. All right, we are with Mina Vu with MV Law, and we are talking about the internet and law around the internet. Why do we need an internet attorney? So, Mina, thank you so much. I know people are thrilled.
Yeah, I'd love to jump into this master minute, the legal master minute, and just hear a perspective from an attorney that practices in Florida. And really, I actually had to subscribe to her channel. I loved how real she was, but I want you to shed some light on what she's saying, agree or disagree, criticism here. I'm just using this. I absolutely love it. I'm going to go ahead and play it so everyone can see.
I mean, in my opinion, you really bring any sort of branding of anything.
Yeah. Are you guys hearing it and not seeing it?
It just shifted.
Can anyone see it now? Okay. Okay, I'm ready.
I mean, in my opinion, you really don't have marketing or any sort of branding of anything unless you actually really have a legitimate business to do that with. So before you jump ahead of yourself and jump the gun, make sure that you have the foundational elements and the foundational things you need to start a business the real way. If you want to be an entrepreneur and you want to be a real business owner in this day and age, you've got to do things the right way. And I see a lot of stuff out there online that talks about branding and marketing and email lists and websites and yada, yada, yada. And that is great, but it has its time and place. And before you jump in and jump off the cliff and do all of that stuff, make sure that you have the right foundation laid for you to even have a successful business in the first place. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So the very first thing that you want to do when you're ready to start a business, you've already figured out what your goods and services are, what you're offering to your consumer or client or customer is going to be. You want to go ahead and actually start and form your business. So what you're going to do is tell your state that you live in or the state that you're going to be operating your business in that you've decided to start a business.
Okay. Yes.
What do you think, Mina?
No, maybe.
That was pretty short and sweet. I agree with her, on the aspect of, building a good foundation. And I think that's what a lot of us aren't really careful about because, we're excited. We have this amazing idea. We want to share it. We want to make profits from it. We want to turn into billionaires and, all these great ideas in our mind. And we kind of jump ahead of ourselves a lot of times. And I think it's really important for business owners before they start a business just to sit down, reflect, look at your business plan and see what do I need, what am I missing, from a legal perspective, from a marketing perspective, from a financial perspective. And you have to just assess it multiple times because running a business, and from my personal experience, it's not easy. You're putting on multiple hats at the same time, especially when you're starting out. And so I think a good foundation is very, very important.
I agree. I actually enjoyed watching a couple more of her videos. Like I said, I subscribed because she had a failed business. I mean, and this is an attorney who knows how to set businesses up, who's, smart, who's very talented, but she opened a business and it was no fault of her own. It was a smoke shop in Florida. And then the city that she lived in, I guess they allowed other businesses of the same type. She said one store that was like 500 feet away, they changed their business model and became a smoke shop where they were something different. And this was all allowed. So there was too much competition. So it wasn't any fault of hers, but it was just interesting seeing how someone that knows all of the things to do, that took the right steps, still ran into problems. So if you don't even have that right foundation, when something like this happens, there's no recovering from it. There's nothing that you can do about it. So I just thought it was pretty wise. A lot of what she was saying is make sure that before you spend any money talking to Mina or me, or, you know, any expert that you can think of, make sure that you've taken the step to understand who you're trying to sell to. Does the market really want it? You know, what's the competition look like? The business plan that you're talking about. A lot of people don't want to take the steps to do that, but it is so important to take those steps to understand what your business is supposed to look like.
Exactly. Yes. You just got to be brutal with yourself, you know, objectively criticizing your business plan and, you know, am I going to survive based on this alone? And you just have to face it. I think, you know, taking the courage and facing that business plan and see how you're going to do financially. If you can't have enough clients, if you don't have enough customers, what are you going to do? I think that's very important. And like Shanna said, foundation is important. Take slow step. No one's, you know, pushing you to take it fast, you know, take it slow and build one brick at a time.
But so many people want, because like you said, you know, we get excited, we have the idea, and it's just like, I want this to happen now. I can see how this is for everyone. Everyone needs this thing that I have. And I want everyone to know about it. So I start doing the things that I feel comfortable with, or I start learning the things that I think I need to do to let everyone know, because this is what this person did. Well, that person took a few more steps, you know, or that person you see, I don't remember who it was, but, you know, the overnight success, you know, that was 15 years making, right?
Yeah.
Because you just hear about them one day, but you don't get to see all of the blood, sweat, and tears that went into that, all of the sleepless nights that business owner had for them to gain this recognition or this traction. It's hard work. Building a business is hard work. If you're trying to do it alone, especially. Okay.
Yeah, well, the other thing it makes me think about too, we talk so much about building a foundation, and we're talking about systems and legal matters too. But I think even building a strong value system within that partnership, I know that that's been where I've had challenges in the past, is not looking at the value systems, and then having that feedback of, okay, well, what am I going to look at? This person and I growing a business together and having the same value system, or the money, because I knew long term the money wasn't going to be sustainable for me if we were on the same page value system wise, right? So I think that's the other thing that we have to really take the time with is, you know, can this be someone that I can, if I'm going to be in business with them, grow long term with, because that is just as big of a deal breaker in your business.
That's valid, because I know that like a lot of the advice that you get is to partner with someone, is to find influencers or collaborators or other people that will support the vision that you have. But you do have to make sure that their values align with yours, or there will be problems in the long run, in which then you will seek out an attorney.
Yeah.
So it's just like, take those steps ahead of time. If you're getting into business with someone, make sure that your contracts are, you know, ironclad. Make sure that, you know, and so Mina, I'd love for you to talk about that, because there are a lot of contracts. There's a lot of those, you know, details when you're thinking about vendors, when you're thinking about your customers. What are some of the steps that you see missed? How do we, you know, just, I know you've got checklists for certain things, but it's just like, what are some of these common things that we can help business owners avoid, ideally, the missteps, I guess?
Yeah. So a lot of times, you know, the people we work with, the people we partner with, we trust them, right? And so we believe that, oh, you know, verbal agreement might not be necessary. Even we have a contract, just the basic terms might be sufficient. But the idea of a contract is just to lay out the expectation, anticipate, you know, when the situation goes south, you know, when one person wants to leave, and a contract needs to be fair for everybody, and that's the idea of a contract. And so to create a contract that's fair for everyone, that anticipates the situation when things go south, and lay out the parties' responsibilities and obligation, it's a lot more detailed. It's a lot more, it needs to be ironclad, like Shanna said. And so what I see when people come to me is that they're like, we have this contract, we think it's sufficient, but it's really not. You haven't think about situation A. What if situation B happens, C happen? All the things in life can throw at us, right? And so purpose of a contract is just to lay out a foundation so that in case something goes wrong, you know what the legal obligations and responsibilities are for the parties.
You're muted, Shanna.
No, I was saying something great. No, I really wasn't. I was stumbling over my words in real life, but I was muted, so that works out. But I know we're so familiar with that, and it's such a common thing in corporations. We really don't think about the fact that every company that we've worked for has done these, has taken some of these same basic foundational steps, that they have attorneys that look over contracts. The bigger they are, these steps have been taken, and we don't really consider that because, like Natalie, you were saying, hey, how big do you have to be for this to matter, basically? And so it's really, we need to start thinking about it. In my opinion, we need to start thinking about this when we start our businesses. I may not need all of these contracts, but the fact that I know I'm going to need some, or having that conversation with an attorney saying, okay, I'm setting this up, just like you've got the checklist for my website, what other contracts or agreements or things should I be considering? Do you need to look at my mutual NDA? Do I need a mutual NDA? Do I need to, all of these things really factor in to businesses, but we somehow tend to separate ourselves sometimes from the big boys, right? But if you're building a business, doesn't matter the size, some of these things are, they go across the board.
Definitely. It doesn't matter how small your business is. A contract is there to lay out the parties' responsibility and obligation. So even if it's a small responsibility, even if it's, the obligation is minor, you need to spell it out in order for the parties to abide to the terms. And I think that is how you can grow your business properly as well.
Yeah.
I keep thinking about life insurance through this conversation. I know it sounds like the silliest time, but even for my money minute, I was like, it makes me want to talk about life insurance, because I think about buy-sell agreements, right? It's a life insurance policy that buys out the spouse if you own a business together. So let's just say I work with Mina in this law firm. We have this business together. We made a lot of money. It pays a lot of money to my family. I pass away. My spouse is an attorney. He doesn't want anything to do with that business. It has to pay out Mina, right? And it's one of those things of getting these things done in advance. I have a client that was referred to me that became a business owner. I shouldn't say quickly. It wasn't his business quickly, but they made a lot of money in a short period of time. And his business partner was like 25 years older than him. So those buy-sell agreements are very important to them. And the younger one doesn't qualify for them. The younger one of the two. Now, really, that's really going to impact, right, that relationship, the spouse, all that stuff, of those things. But just makes you think from a legal standpoint, that's kind of the same thing, but people never look at it that way. Sorry.
Yeah.
I know you guys are like, you got to get it done now. That's but okay, I'm sorry. Whatever. You got to protect your business with that too.
Okay, so Mina, we love to leave the audience members with practical advice, practical steps they can take to help them better their business. When we're thinking about the topic of how starting a business works, and we're thinking about it from your perspective as a legal professional, what practical advice can you give us?
Yeah, I would say start with, taking a look at the contracts, who you're dealing with, the parties that, your business is in, negotiation with, and take a look from there, make sure the terms of the contracts, it's favorable to your business, but fair for both parties as well. Make sure, take a look at, the contracts, your documents, your corporate documents and things like that. Make sure that you set the right foundation so that you can grow your business from there.
Awesome.
All right.
Good stuff.
Love
All right.
it.
And we put her website in the chat for you. It's all there. So you can go there, download your checklist. You know how to reach out to her, get a hold of her. They do a free consultation. It was right, a 30-minute. Am I correct? Okay. If not, you got it free on the Better Your Business show, right? 30-minute consultation. You got it here, right? With MB Law. But Mina is awesome. She obviously knows what she's talking about. She's always just very much impressed me, our conversations with how on top of it she is with law, with her finance, with this part of her life. And I know for myself, if I'm working with someone, I want to know that they're practicing what they're preaching. So, Mina, thank you so much for being here. I know that our audience was thrilled and you gave us lots of great information. So
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Natalie, for your words.
Thank you.
I'll see you soon. Yeah.
I'm flattered.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Mina.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. Oh, we brought her back.
I put her back. She's like, hey.
This happens every time because it's just like, who's going to do it? Yeah, I absolutely loved that conversation. And she's brilliant, by the way. She won't say it, but I was just like, when I was looking
She's
at
really
her
achieved. I wanted to kind of say, she got a little bit shy with her background, but she's really achieved high levels of success. And
Yes.
if you look at the type of discipline that you have to do that, I mean, it's a tremendous amount of discipline. I have a lot of respect for her.
Yes,
For sure.
Doctor of Law. I was like, wait, what? Cum laude. So it's just like, it's amazing. So it's not, she's just and so humble, so I absolutely loved talking to her, and the way that she was breaking things down. It's just easy to understand. And you can tell she has a passion for the business owners, right? Because she's like, I love talking to people. I stalk your website. She wants to know about you. And I think that's important for anyone that you work with. So I absolutely loved it.
Awesome.
I'm glad.
Me
And
too.
then I do want to talk to her about what she wouldn't let you. I was telling her, I was like, okay, she's got a past. When you mentioned her being a performer, I was like, it would be great if we could do a special edition with Mina where we talk about the business of what she was. And so now, if you're curious, go and look her up, find out, but recognize here's where, in the space that she is now, she can help you with your business. When we talk about, the Better Your Business show, we want to bring resources that will help you actually better your business. And this is one thing. Legal is one of those areas. Those 5 pillars of business sustainability is making sure that legally you're protected, that you understand the regulations for your business or what have you. And she can tell you far better than I can, but yes.
Awesome.
All right. One of my favorite segments is coming up. It's my boy Fitzroy. He's now my boy. Like, when I see these come into my email, I get so excited because I'm like, what did he do now? So
Yes.
I'll go ahead and play that, and then we'll come back and talk about some free money.
All right.
It's your boy Fitzroy, and I have a banger on the website that is going to give you subtitles just like these, which will ultimately help you better your business. The website is captions.ai. It allows you to upload a video and automatically have subtitles. You can choose from various text styles and even add captions in a different language, so you can speak English but have subtitles in Spanish so that you can have a wider demographic reach. It supports both landscape and vertical video formats and makes it easy to isolate areas of dead air where nothing is being said, so you can edit out those parts of the video. Captions.ai costs a mere $10 per month, or only $5 per month if you pay in a 12-month lump sum, but it does have a 3-day free trial, so you can jump right in and try the service. Subtitles on videos can help viewers digest the information better, especially if you're explaining a business or a product. So try Captions.ai, and more than anything else, don't get beat up out there.
Awesome. I know. I think Fitzroy needs to have his own little section of clips, because I love everything
I
he
do
teaches us
too.
every week. Yeah. That's why
I'm
he's my
like,
friend.
I love that he puts that together. There's just, I know we're all crazy, but we absolutely love it. And when I saw that, I was just like, the content creators out there, those that are just getting started, but know this is their calling. And some people were called to create content. And so it's just like, this makes it easier. This and Opus clips and what else? He's mentioned so many of them. So really go back and pay attention to those for sure.
Yeah, I was with a lady last night who had 100,000 followers on her YouTube, and I showed her Opus clips, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, you just taught me something. Thank you." And I said, "Well, you could. You could teach me how to get to 100,000 followers on YouTube."
Even exchange, I feel.
Yes.
Even exchange.
But it's great stuff. Everyone wants to be more effective and efficient, right? So
yes. All right. Do you want to talk about some free money?
yes, ma'am. Always.
Free money. Okay. Dollar bill, y'all. Okay. So the first grant we're going to talk about today is from the it's the Wells Fargo Open for Business grant, HoustonEquityFund.org. Go there. They have $8 million. This is round 2 of their funding. So their plan is to give away, I think, $20 million in 3 years. Well, this is an $8 million round. The purpose is to help diversely owned small businesses and nonprofit organizations own more of their assets. So keep that in mind if you're needing funding. I believe it is for that Houston area, though. So those people in Texas, the reason that I brought this up is not because I'm in Texas. It's because the grant is closing. Application deadline is May 31st of this year. So if you're in that area, check it out. And don't take my word for it. Just go to that URL, HoustonEquityFund.org, and look for that grant. The next grant that's closing next, or I guess it's this coming Sunday, is the Amazon Business Small Business Grant. So Natalie, this one may be good for you because you have a business account with Amazon. They're giving away up to $25,000. So you've got a $15,000 prize, $20,000, and then the grand prize is $25,000. So go to Amazon.com if you have a business account, and then look for that grant. But it closes Sunday. Last but not least is another grant that the deadline is closing May 31st. Again, Women's Founder Network. You have to be a female CEO, or you've got to be the primary owner, majority owner of the business. It's their fast pitch competition, and they have $55,000. That they're giving away in cash grants, plus $100,000 in professional services. WomenFoundersNetwork.org. Look for the fast pitch competition. Those are the ones out there. I found all of those grants just so that you'll know, and I'm not holding you up on looking at these. I've got to find that website because I wanted to make sure to share it with everyone. I'll find it at another time because I cannot find that note. But I want to make sure that we have that because we're only going to be giving them to you every week or every other week. You know, you'll have plenty of time if you go and check it out. But just do the same search that I did. Small business grants, May or June 2023, and see what comes up. And then just start applying for that free money.
Yep. And there's so many resources on social media like Instagram where there's people talking about different tips, grants, all that stuff. So follow those people, right?
Yep.
1% luck. Well, you got to do the 99% of the work to show up. All you got to do is follow them and you're going to see all the opportunity just going on your Instagram. I love that, right? Money everywhere. That was a good one, Shanna. That was a lot of money that you gave away tonight. So I love that. All right.
And I've got more for next week.
Okay, great. Awesome. So, Money Minute?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So we are going to talk about a company called Self. Can you see are you going to put it up?
Okay. I'm going to pull it up, and I'm pulling it up now while you're talking about it.
Awesome. So self.inc is the website, and it's a way to help you build your credit. Did you know that you can report your rent and your bills and have it raise your credit score. How many of it you pay bills? Anybody here pay bills, right? How would you like to have it help raise your credit score? So they help you do that by reporting your bills and your rent. The other thing too is they have another program in place that this video will explain to help you raise your credit score. So if you do need some help in that, this is a great resource. I want to go back to when we had Mina on saying, this isn't necessarily, I'm not telling you to do this, right? In financial planning, these are all just tools. We're going to give you tools and resources every week to be successful in your business. It's up to you to either find someone to reach. You can reach out to Shanna or I or any of the experts on the show anytime for feedback. But it's up to you to discern what's the best for you, because these are just the tools. It doesn't mean every tool is going to be the right fit for you. We're going to show you the tool, but you have to just, try it on, wear it, see if it's the right fit for you. So, yes, thank you, Shanna. My disclaimer.
Ready? You want me to play this video, right?
Let's see. Yes. This is a self-credit builder account. Can you guys hear it? Is that working?
Okay.
Okay, well, that's all right. Go there and check
Did it
it
not
out.
play?
No, we couldn't hear it. Could you hear it, Mina? I couldn't hear it.
Oh, I was like thinking everything was going great because I could hear it very well.
Well, I'm glad you could. Awesome.
So sorry for everyone on the other side. Everyone who's not me, I'm so sorry for you because I was like
how did you
caught
like
up
it,
in
Shanna?
the whole video. And I wanted to say something, Natalie, but I was just like, okay, well, maybe she's just saying, let's cut it off early or what have you. But I didn't realize no one else could hear it. So yes, maybe we do give them the website.
Awesome. I'll put it in the chat. So what do you think of the program?
I think it's great. Is that one that does it cost money? Like, right? Because I know that there are some that will help you build your credit, but you have to pay an enrollment fee.
Right. So it depends on what you do, on what you use, what you do with them.
Okay.
On the credit account, which the video that we were going to play, my understanding is no, they take the fees and the interest rate from your account and keep that essentially to build your credit. So, but there's, I know it's free to enroll in the services. And then there are different programs you can pay monthly fees for as well. So it just depends on what you need it for.
Okay. And it's self, SELF.
Self.inc. Yep.
Self.inc. Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
Even get a little card.
So what was your takeaway? I haven't done that in a while.
Well, my biggest takeaway, there was a lot of them, but I think my biggest takeaway is how do you get a Mina Vu? How do you get someone like that? Because in my mind, I would think I can't afford her. I can't afford that. I'm not in a position to be able to, I'm not so bougie with my billions that I can afford to have an attorney on my side, even though you say I need one. The reason why I'm sure people aren't proactive is because they're thinking it's going to cost me a fortune. And what if I don't need it? My mindset automatically would have been, like with Denise's $7,000, well, is that cheaper than me paying for an attorney every month? I don't know, because right, legal fees can be so expensive. So that was my biggest takeaway, was that everyone needs one, and it can be affordable.
And I think, Natalie, I think that was it for me as well. Really just the importance of having that attorney, making sure that you don't forget that that legal is one of those 5 pillars of sustainability: infrastructure, marketing, management, finance, and credit. You've got the legal in there as well as part of your infrastructure, making sure that your contracts are tight, that they're ironclad, that it protects everyone and makes it clear what this business relationship is going to look like. That is a foundational piece, but there are steps that you might need to take, just those foundational steps to make sure you have a business before you engage any attorney in any of this. But yeah, that was kind of it for me.
Good. Yeah, that's awesome. So great. So we put her website in there. You can go in there and download her checklist, which that is going to be my end, is do something today that will help you better your business. Go download the checklist. I know I'm going to see where you're at and to see if you need to take advantage of that 30-minute consultation. Well, even if you don't think you need to, take advantage of it.
Yes.
You might learn something new and think you need it now. So
It's free.
it's free, right? So thanks, everyone. Go apply for those grants. Thank you so much, everyone that joined us. Hope you got value from tonight's show. We will see you guys next week. Have a beautiful week. Better your business, and we'll see you soon.
Our goal is simple: to help you achieve the dream and vision you first had when you thought about starting a business. We're here to make growing your business less complicated. There are building blocks to build a sustainable business. We promise to seek them out and address them all. The Better Your Business Show starts now.